All right, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today I am doing the weekly for the sign of Virgo. We're going to get right into it, Virgos. I'm putting your weekly up first because I just got done live streaming the fire and air sign monthlies for November. So we're going to kick it right off with the weeklies for the earth and water signs. And then I'll live stream the rest of the November love readings this weekend. So let's get right into it, my lovely Virgos. We're going to pull out your romance angel messages for this week. All right, and this is going to be for October 27th to November 3rd. All right. So let's pull it out and see. Very soon is your first one. Clearly decide what you want, so it comes to you now. And we have released your ex. It's time to let go for some of you. And our third romance angel message for the week is chemistry. All right, my lovely Virgos. The weekly readings are a little bit different than the monthlies. I pull out 3 romance angel messages, of course. And then we get right into pulling out your animal spirits. Now, I pull out 3 because the weeklies, I look at multiple scenarios for you, Virgo. And so for some of you, you may resonate with only one of these messages. You may resonate with both. It all depends. Or you may resonate with all of them, right? But we'll see more about these once we get into your spread. Let's pull out your animal spirits for the week. And you can follow me now on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Bow and Arrow Tarot or Bow Arrow Tarot. And the animal spirits we're going to pull out, these can really be representative of stages, paths that you're about to start. They can be representative of energies coming into your life, helping you over a particular scenario or obstacle, or they can also represent individuals coming into your life, bringing certain energies with them. So again, just take whatever applies to your situation. The octopus, water energy. More water energy with the oyster. Wow. All right, Virgo. And air energy with the butterfly. Transformation is definitely coming in for you. Wow. Very nice. So let's go ahead and review these animal spirits briefly. And then we're going to get into your 3-card spreads for the week. We have octopus energy, which is water energy. The octopus knows no boundaries, right? This is an individual who oftentimes when you're talking to them and they're done, you feel drained. This is a real energy sucker characteristic, right? Personality. Octopus. The octopus gets itself into very, very messy situations because of the lack of boundaries. Oh, please excuse my cat. She gets a little weird during these readings sometimes, so you'll just have to excuse her. But octopus energy, oftentimes, it can be that you're dealing with somebody who's really invading your privacy or getting into your sort of personal space too much. This could be a relationship with somebody where the boundaries aren't very clear and the relationship itself has gotten very messy. This could also indicate an ex. Certainly if you have an ex in your life that is a real energy sucker, right? This could be very much octopus energy at play. And of course, whenever we have this sort of energy working in our lives, it's time for us to set boundaries and to really begin to pull back. This is certainly the too much information person, right? The one who gives you too much and the one who wants too much. You have to be very, very stern with this sort of personality so that they don't drain you. Now, oyster energy is very different. It is water energy, but with the oyster, we talk about increasing your self-confidence to show the world a particular treasure, perhaps, that you've been hiding. Now, this is often the oyster. What do we find in oysters? We find pearls. beautiful pearls. And pearls come from many, many years of irritation. So the oyster is an individual who has really been through a lot of emotional ups and downs. But as a result of this experience, they have a really beautiful quality within them. Oftentimes, oyster individuals have talents in the realm of dealing with emotions or communicating emotions that are very special. But they do often take these talents and skills for granted. And so with the oyster, we talk about really understanding that you have, if you're resonating with this, you have something special to give to the world, something special to share with the world. Don't take it for granted just because it comes easy to you. And also with this energy, it's really about recognizing the beauty that you have with inside and the need to express it, right? The fact that you kind of do yourself a disservice by not sharing this with the world, with your loved ones, with those around you. So increasing your self-confidence, certainly your self-esteem, but also valuing the treasures that you have, valuing your special gifts, and not just kind of throwing them. You know, we have a term, pearls before swine, right? Don't just throw your special skills or the beautiful things that you bring to a relationship. Don't just throw them for anyone to have, especially if you have an octopus that you're dealing with, octopus personality. You know, don't squander all of these beautiful, I want to say, values, traits, right, that you have, blessings, really, that are a part of you for people who resonate with this kind of narcissistic, really, energy. All right. Now we have the butterfly, which is air. And butterfly talks about total transformation, of course, right? Oftentimes the butterfly comes in at a time in our lives when we are going through a transformation that is full body. It's a transformation of the mind, the heart, the soul. Beautiful things are coming in and you are really vibrating a higher, right? This is very much also about transformation into coming into your own beauty, coming into your own sort of self-esteem, self-confidence. Butterfly is also the animal spirit for friends. And so oftentimes when we are going through a transformatory period, which with it by nature will bring growing pains, this is a time when we really need to call on our friends for support. And so the butterfly talks about that as well. Having it is an air element, animal spirit. So we're talking about communicating, right, with those around you, communicating with your friends, your family, those in your life who really care for you to help you through this period, which promises, although it may be a little tricky or a little difficult, there may be, like I said, growing pains. Coming out of it the other side will be a very beautiful thing. All right, guys, so let's pull out your 3-card spreads for the week. I'm going to pull out anywhere from 4 to 8, depending on how long we spend on each forecast of 3-card spreads for you. These are possible outlooks for you for the week. And again, just take what applies to you and enjoy disregarding the rest. All right, my lovely Virgos. A lot of water this week, a lot of air for you. Straight out the gate, we have 6 of Wands, Sun, and 8 of Wands. Well, there you go. So for some of you, you come into this week very much feeling a sense of victory, feeling like you're at the right place where you need to be with your ambitions and with your forward momentum in a particular goal. I'm going to say for some of you, this is certainly to do with work or career this week. Remember, my weeklies are general readings, so they can be in all areas. But this week, you really feel a great sense of relief, a great sense of victory. Like I said, at work, it could be that you got that promotion. It could be that you're about to get that raise. You're about to be put onto a particular project that you've been working very hard to be put on. And what happens is, as a result of this as well, this week you feel really good. Your self-confidence increases. I'm going to say for some of you, this is very much oyster energy at work, in a sense that you're able to really show someone your skills, show someone what you bring to the table and how valuable it is. And there's a lot of clarity that comes in as a result of that. Sun, of course, brings with it clarity, but it also brings rewards. And oftentimes, sun energy can indicate a sort of a stage event in a way in your life where you're really at the center, right? The spotlight is on you, but in a very positive and beautiful way. This is your moment to shine, right? One of the other things, however, is that this week, again, Eight of Wands is very similar to octopus energy in the sense that you do have a lot of input coming in from others this week. This could be a lot of unsolicited input. This could be a lot of chaotic sort of mixed messages coming in. This could be as a result also of people who may be envious of your victory, right? So just take care to put borders in place. Remember, 8 is the number for borders, boundaries, weaknesses, and strengths. And so oftentimes when you do have a victory, there will be a lot of chaotic energy around you from those who seek to either undermine you, who may be jealous or envious, or just because you are shining so brightly, it just causes a lot of chaos with other people who want to have a piece of what you have. So take care to be careful, to be, I want to say, diligent, focused, and as you are enjoying your victory this week, to make sure that you don't have too many octopus personalities around you sucking your energy. King of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and Three of Cups. Well, some of you certainly are coming in this week really rectifying a situation. It could be that there has been some miscommunication, or perhaps there's been some lying going on even, or just some kind of really low vibrational communication going on with a particular scenario. But you come in this week and you really take charge, and you really insist on this getting straightened out. You insist on having this communication or the conversation that you need to have with somebody, and you also insist on it being truthful and honest, right? King of Swords always talks about honesty, and he is very, very strong, stringent king. However, you get met with sort of a Nine of Pentacles, which is quite interesting because although you're approaching a particular situation with a desire to find out the truth, what ends up coming is that you end up really sitting quite pretty in a sense. You end up kind of finding out that perhaps you were right about a particular situation, or you were on the right path. There's certain rewards coming in as well this week with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles often talks about people who are very career-minded, who are really about stacking their coin, right? And sure, you know, taking care of their livelihood, themselves, their body, their health, and all of that. And I think that as a result of some communication this week, you find out that really the most important thing is making sure that you're all right. You realize, I think for some of you, that perhaps you've been putting a bit too much of your own energy into another situation, and that you really need to be putting more of that energy into your own goals, into your own sort of path, and really to go back to sort of putting yourself number one, right? Putting yourself at the center. And as a result of that, you know, your happiness increases, your abundance increases, things work out in your finance, in your career. And so, yeah, this kind of conversation that you insist on having really straightens a lot of things out. But more than anything, it straightens out the fact that you realize now more than ever that you really need to put more energy into yourself, into your own transformation, and to sort of forget those people that sometimes, no matter how much you want to have an honest communication with them, you realize sometimes that there just isn't any point. You know what I mean? They're just never going to be on the same level as you. And I think that that really comes out of this action that you take coming in as King of Swords this week. Three of Cups, you end up the week realizing who your friends are. You know, that's really it. This week you end up realizing who your friends are. you end up celebrating with your true friends. And oftentimes I say that if you can count your true friends on one hand, then you're very lucky. You know, we can have many, many acquaintances and friends, but the ones who really are there for us, especially at a time of transformation, because Nine of Pentacles could indicate a real time of transformation for yourself, especially if money is beginning to come in. Butterfly energy lets you know that only your true friends are going to be with you during a time like that. Nine of Wands, 10 of Wands, and 10 of Swords. Wow. Okay, so this is real transformation. Look at the end. So much completion and change. You come into this week really looking back on a particular stage in your life. But this Nine of Wands energy, this Nine of Wands in the sense of really sort of reevaluating everything you've been on, everything you've been through, right? And these 9 wands are representative of all of the sort of knocks and burdens that you've had to shoulder, responsibilities that you've had to carry, you see that figure is quite banged up. But very, very quickly, this reevaluating of everything you've been through and really kind of, I want to say, summing up where you're at in your life this week, all of it, you're in the middle of a total transformation, Virgo. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. I mean, this is really, you realize that it's time to lay down a particular, right? Time to lay down these 10 of Wands. Time to lay down a particular burden or responsibility that you've had to shoulder, that you no longer have to shoulder. You no longer have to use these crutches anymore, these emotional crutches. You're over it. Same thing with the 10 of Swords. Physically, you come out of a period that has been very, very difficult and trying mentally, right? So Wands is more of a spiritual, fiery energy, and we let go of that kind of, I want to say Wands are really representative of injuries, right? To our psyche in a lot of ways, to our self-confidence in a lot of ways, right? And you lay that down. With 10 of Swords, we talk about the end of the ego, the end of who you were, the end of the person that could be hurt with all of these swords. You're no longer that person anymore. You're no longer that vulnerable anymore. You've kind of come through it all and it's over. And now you're resonating higher to the degree that the new you can't be hurt with the same sort of injuries anymore. You can't be hurt with the same sort of actions or words because you have evolved. This is a full transformation for some of you, especially with the butterfly energy in, and certainly it's going to involve some friends, but this is a very, very nice ending, I'm going to say, for some of you to a very, very long period of difficulty, trials and tribulations, and you come out of it a completely different person, Virgo. Very nice indeed. Devil energy, 15, Queen of Wands, and 6 of Swords. So some of you are dealing with some really codependent, narcissistic sort of energy this week coming in, and you stand up to it. You stand up to it. I'm going to say for some of you, this could certainly be an ex or someone in your life that can bring with them a level of toxicity, right? This person, whenever they're around, they suddenly get you into a particular lifestyle or a particular mode that's not happy or healthy for you. Oftentimes when they come in, your creative growth is stagnated and you fall into sort of addictive behavior with this person or codependent behavior with this person. And when they come in, you see it right away. It's the negative side of the Devil card that comes in with this energy. But Queen of Wands is the perfect one to stand up to this energy because the Queen of Wands is extremely sort of, she has an extreme amount of control over herself, right? She's learned self-mastery. She's learned how to be able to say no, you know, how to be able to release that ex or to release that toxicity. The Queen of Wands has been through so many difficult things in her life, and she is one of the strongest queens that there can be. She's also very humble and always willing to sort of be a guide to others, right? I mean, she brings a watery aspect to fire. Queens are water, wands are fire. So she brings an emotional component to that side of ourselves, which is our ambitious side, that spark that drives us. Is connected with her heart. So she's always in touch with her heart, and she doesn't go against it. She doesn't make moves or take steps or go in any of the directions that will be contrary to what her heart is telling her. And so in a lot of ways, she's very similar to the High Priestess, because she very much listens to her own intuition and her own inner voice. And this week, this is what you do, and you decide, you come out of it and you leave this situation for good. You release your ex. Six of Swords definitely talks about leaving times of trial and tribulation, leaving turmoil behind, leaving fighting behind. This is going to be the last spread, folks. And oftentimes this can also indicate, Virgo, traveling. Okay, so for some of you, you may actually be moving. You may actually be moving away from someone. But in any case, you certainly are mentally making that decision that you will no longer entertain these type of octopus personalities. You're done with this ex for some of you. And this is all still part of a transformation. So for all of you Virgos, this week is very, very much about transformation and coming into your own. All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave it at that. That's your weekly reading for October 27th. to November 3rd. I do hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share. All of that helps me to grow. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, Bow and Arrow Tarot, Bow Arrow Tarot. But for right now, Virgo, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.